There is a place in the world where the water is not always blue and calm. It is often grey, powerful and full of life. This is the North Sea. It is a wild heart beating at the edge of northern Europe. For centuries it has shaped the lives of people and the course of history. Its cold, churning waters can be a source of great wealth, but they can also bring great danger. This sea is a place of contrasts, a world of both beauty and immense power. It reminds us of nature's strength and our place within it. To understand this sea is to understand a vital part of our planet's story. The North Sea is not just a body of water. It is a living character in the story of Europe. It has been a provider, offering fish to feed nations and energy to power our modern world. It has also been a formidable barrier, testing the courage of sailors and the strength of ships for thousands of years. Its moods can change in an instant, from a peaceful mirror reflecting the sky to a raging monster of wind and waves. This constant change makes the sea a challenging place to live and work. It demands respect from all who venture across its surface or draw from its depths. This sea holds countless stories within its currents. It has witnessed ancient migrations, fierce naval battles, and incredible feats of engineering. It is a place where nature and humanity meet in a dramatic, ongoing dialogue. The winds that sweep across its surface have powered explorers to new lands and pushed fishing boats back to safe harbors. The treasures hidden beneath its waves, from oil to historical artifacts, continue to draw people to its shores. The North Sea is a testament to the enduring relationship between people and the ocean, a connection filled with challenge, discovery, and wonder. Today is September 17th, 2025, and the North Sea remains as important as ever. It is a busy hub of activity, with ships carrying goods, ferries connecting countries, and rigs drilling for energy. It is also a fragile ecosystem, home to a wonderful diversity of marine life, from tiny plankton to majestic whales. As we look to the future, we must remember the lessons this sea has taught us. It teaches us about resilience, the power of nature, and our responsibility to protect these wild places for generations to come. The story of the North Sea is still being written, and we all have a part to play in its next chapter. To truly understand the North Sea, we must first look at a map. Imagine the continent of Europe. The North Sea is nestled right there, a vast expanse of water bordered by many countries. To the west lies Great Britain, an island nation that has long depended on this sea. To the east you will find Norway and Denmark. To the south are Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, and a small part of France. This position makes it a central meeting point for different cultures and economies. It is a relatively shallow sea, which is one of the key reasons for its famously rough behavior. The geography of the North Sea is quite unique. It is connected to the Great Atlantic Ocean in the north and through the English Channel in the south. Think of it like a giant basin, partly enclosed by land. This shape has a profound effect on its waters. When strong winds blow from the Atlantic, they push enormous amounts of water into this basin. With limited space to go, the water has nowhere to escape but up, creating the high, steep waves for which the North Sea is famous. This geographical setup acts like a natural amplifier for storms. Underneath the waves, the seabed is not flat. It is a landscape of its own, with deep trenches, sandy banks, and the remnants of ancient river valleys from the last ice age. One famous feature is the Dogger Bank, a large, shallow area that was once dry land, connecting Britain to mainland Europe. These underwater hills and valleys influence the currents and the waves on the surface, making the sea even more unpredictable. Sailors must know this hidden geography well to navigate safely, avoiding areas where the water can suddenly become dangerously shallow or turbulent. The weather here is also shaped by this geography. The sea is a battleground for different weather systems. Cold polar air from the north often clashes with warmer, wetter air from the Atlantic. This constant conflict creates the famously grey skies, persistent winds, and sudden, violent storms that can appear with very little warning. The surrounding land masses channel these winds, making them stronger and more focused. It is this combination of a shallow basin, a connection to the vast ocean, and competing weather systems that gives the North Sea its wild and untamed character. The North Sea is famous for its storms, and for good reason. When a storm arrives, the sea transforms into a place of incredible power and danger. The waves do not roll gently. They become steep, sharp, and chaotic. They can rise to astonishing heights, sometimes as tall as a 10-story building. Unlike the long, rolling swells of the deep ocean, North Sea waves are often close together. This means a ship has no time to recover from one wave before the next one hits, creating a relentless, punishing assault on its hull. This is what makes the sea so treacherous for even the largest and strongest vessels. The danger comes not just from the height of the waves, but from their immense force. A single large wave, often called a rogue wave, can strike a ship with the force of many tons. It can bend steel, shatter windows, and wash away anything on deck. The combination of fierce winds and powerful currents makes it incredibly difficult for a captain to control their ship. In the heart of a storm, a vessel can be tossed about like a toy, at the complete mercy of the sea. It is in these moments that the North Sea shows its true, untamable power. History is filled with examples of the sea's destructive fury. One of the most devastating events was the Great North Sea Flood of 1953. A violent storm combined with a high tide created a massive storm surge. This wall of water crashed into the coasts of the Netherlands, Belgium, and the United Kingdom. It overwhelmed sea defenses, flooding vast areas of land and causing terrible devastation. The disaster showed that the sea's danger was not limited to those on ships. It could also reach far inland, changing landscapes and lives in a single night. Another powerful reminder of the sea's might is the story of the Piper Alpha oil rig disaster in 1988. While the initial cause was a technical failure, the harsh conditions of the North Sea made the rescue operation incredibly difficult. Winds and high seas hampered the efforts of emergency crews, showing how the environment itself can become a major obstacle in a crisis. These events, etched into the memory of the region, serve as a constant reminder. They teach us that while we can work on the sea and take from it, we can never truly conquer it. For thousands of years, the North Sea has been a great highway, connecting the peoples of Northern Europe. It was not a barrier, but a bridge. The Vikings, some of the most famous sailors in history, used this sea to travel from their homes in Scandinavia. They crossed its waters to trade, explore, and sometimes to raid the coasts of Britain and mainland Europe. Their longships, brilliantly designed for these challenging waters, allowed them to dominate the sea and shape the future of many nations. The North Sea was the heart of their world, a source of both their livelihood and their power. The sea also became a stage for great conflicts between rising empires. As nations like England, the Netherlands, and Germany grew, they fought for control of the sea and its rich trade routes. Great naval battles were waged upon its waters. The clash of the English fleet against the Spanish Armada in 1588, partly fought in the North Sea, was a turning point in European history. In the 20th century, it was a critical theatre in both World War I and World War II, with submarines, battleships, and mines turning the sea into a deadly war zone. Control of the North Sea meant control of vital supply lines. Beyond war, the North Sea has always been a centre of commerce and industry. For centuries, fishing fleets have sailed from its ports, bringing back herring and cod to feed growing populations. The Hanseatic League, a powerful group of merchant guilds in the late Middle Ages, built its wealth on trade across the North Sea and the Baltic. In more recent times, a new kind of wealth was discovered: oil and natural gas. The discovery of these resources in the mid-20th century transformed the sea once again, bringing a new era of industry with giant rigs and platforms standing against the waves. This long history of human activity is written on the sea itself. The seabed is a museum, littered with the wrecks of Viking longships, wooden warships, and modern vessels. These silent witnesses tell the story of trade, conflict, and ambition. They remind us that for every successful voyage, there were countless challenges and risks. The North Sea has been a place of opportunity and prosperity, but it has always demanded a price. It is a place where human history and natural power are woven together in a single epic story that continues to unfold. The North Sea floor is a vast graveyard of ships, each with a story to tell. These wrecks are powerful reminders of the sea's unforgiving nature. One of the most famous is the Lutine, a French frigate captured by the British. In 1799, it was carrying a huge cargo of gold and silver from England to Germany. Caught in a violent storm off the Dutch coast, the ship was driven onto a sandbank and sank. Only one person survived. Over the centuries, many have tried to recover the treasure, but the shifting sands and treacherous currents have protected the wreck, making it a legendary tale of lost fortune. Jumping forward in time, the age of steam did not make the North Sea any less dangerous. In 1912, the same year the Titanic sank, a Danish passenger liner named the SS Norge was crossing the North Sea. It was carrying over 700 people, many of them emigrants hoping for a new life in America. In dense fog, the ship struck a hidden reef near Rockall, a remote granite islet. The ship sank in just 20 minutes. The tragedy was immense, with over 635 lives lost, making it one of the worst civilian maritime disasters in the Atlantic region at that time. Even modern technology is not always a match for the sea's power. The sinking of the MS Herald of Free Enterprise in 1987 is a chilling example. This large roll-on, roll-off ferry had just left the port of Zeebrugge in Belgium. Tragically, its bow doors had been left open. As the ferry picked up speed, water flooded onto the car deck. The ship quickly lost stability and capsized in shallow water in less than 2 minutes. The incident was not caused by a storm but by human error, combined with the sea's swift and unforgiving reaction. It led to major changes in ferry safety regulations. These stories, from different eras and involving different kinds of ships, all share a common theme. They show how quickly a normal voyage can turn into a disaster in the North Sea. Whether due to storms, fog, or human mistakes, the sea exploits any weakness. The wrecks that lie on the seabed are more than just historical objects. They are memorials to the thousands of people who lost their lives in these waters. They are echoes from the deep, reminding us to always approach this powerful sea with humility, caution, and the utmost respect for its enduring strength. Today, the North Sea is more important and busier than ever before. It remains a vital artery for global trade. Huge container ships, tankers and ferries crisscross its surface every day, carrying goods and people between Europe and the rest of the world. Its ports are among the busiest on the planet. This constant activity makes it a crucial engine for the modern economy. At the same time, the fishing industry, though changed, continues to be a way of life for many coastal communities, providing seafood for our tables just as it has for centuries. This sea continues to provide for us in many ways. The North Sea has also become a world leader in energy. For decades, the towering oil and gas platforms have been a familiar sight, drawing fossil fuels from deep beneath the seabed. But a new chapter in the sea's energy story is now being written. As we look for cleaner ways to power our world, the North Sea is becoming a hub for renewable energy. Huge offshore wind farms are being built, their giant turbines spinning in the strong, reliable winds. These farms are turning the sea's challenging weather into a source of clean electricity, powering millions of homes and helping us fight climate change. While it is a place of industry, the North Sea is also a precious natural habitat. Its waters are home to an incredible variety of life. Playful seals and porpoises swim in its currents, while millions of seabirds nest along its cliffs. Below the surface, the complex ecosystem supports everything from tiny plankton to large fish like cod and haddock. Protecting this fragile biodiversity is one of our greatest challenges. Pollution, overfishing, and the effects of climate change all pose a threat to the health of the sea. We have a responsibility to ensure that this marine world can thrive for years to come. Ultimately, the North Sea teaches us a profound lesson about respect. We must respect the power of nature, which is so clearly displayed in its storms and waves. We must also respect the people who make their living on its waters, the sailors, fishers, and energy workers who face its challenges every day. Their courage and skill allow us to benefit from the sea's riches. As we continue to draw upon the North Sea for trade, energy, and food, let us do so with care and gratitude. Let us work to protect its health, ensuring that this wild, powerful and life-giving sea remains a treasure for all future generations.